Hello, today's tutorial will be about a nav mesh agents in Unity. Essentially, we are just going to create your own simple enemy AI, and this requires a little bit of experience with Unity, but don't worry, we will go through it all. This tutorial will be larger than the other tutorials that I've made, and it will be longer than 5 minutes. That is because this tutorial covers 3 pieces essentially. We are going to create 3 basic enemies. The green one will be your follower, the blue one will be one that is patrolling, and the red one will be also one that is patrolling. The red one, however, will be able of attacking you and then return to patrolling once you are out of his range. In order for all this magic to happen, Unity have installed the Unity AI navigation package. You can do so through the package manager. We are using Unity version 2023 or later here, so make sure to have a similar version installed. You need to have a ground object in your scene. This can be as simple as a plane that is very large, and as long as it has a mesh collider, you'll be fine. Add the nav mesh surface component to it, and make sure to use the geometry of the colliders when you bake. Now, maybe just like me, you also have the player enabled. You can disable the player and rebake it so that there is no gap in between the grid. After that, you can create a simple capsule. This capsule will be your follower. We are going to give the capsule some sort of VR device, and this will be used as an indicator for us to know where your follower is facing. Make sure to remove a box collider from the VR device if you have one in it. And afterwards you can add the navmesh agent component to your follower. If you haven't done so already, you can create a scripts folder, and in here we are going to create our very first C# script for this project. You can name it a follower or follower AI or something similar. In the follower script, we are going to require the component of navmesh agent. The reason for this is that the script will not function properly without it, so we might as well require it in order to ensure that the game object always has that component whenever we add a follower script to it. We are using the navmesh agent because it has a set of very nice features, such as set destination. This will do the pathfinding automatically for us. We will just have to give it certain conditions, such as the range, etc. And we're going to do so through the settings that we are creating. We also want to have our follower look at a player once the follower is very close by to the player. So it's not looking away in space, but looking straight at you. In order to achieve this, we are going to use the look at. The look at will give us the rotation that we need. And from the rotation, we are going to pick the Euler angles. The Euler angles will be cached inside a variable that we created. And from that variable, we only need the y-axis to update our actual rotation. And this will ensure that we will always look at a player instead of rotating on the other axes as well, which will result in very strange behavior. So this is a very simple solution. If you've done everything properly, the AI should be following you. The next class that we are going to create is the Patrol AI. The Patrol AI might seem very intimidating, but it is quite similar actually. We are also going to require the component of navmesh agent in here, and the settings will be slightly different. We will have nodes in here, and the nodes will be essentially the waypoints to where the agent will be patrolling towards. We are going to create a very nice cycle in here so that it will always go back to the starting point once it reaches the end of all the nodes that it has. Make sure to update the node index after setting the destination. You can duplicate the follower and remove the follower component. You can add a component of the patrol AI to the follower and rename it to maybe patrol agent or something like that. Create an empty game object in your hierarchy in order to keep everything clean and tidy. You can, for example, name this patrol area. In here we are going to create multiple spheres. Those spheres will be named the patrol nodes. We are also going to create a new layer. We are going to call this layer don't render. This will prevent the camera from rendering those nodes. We don't want to see them in the game time, only in the editor. Assign the layer to every node, and in the camera settings, make sure at the rendering to disable the don't render in the culling. Did you know that you can use the lock icon on the top right to lock the current thing that you've selected in the inspector? We're going to use this in order to drag all the nodes inside the patrol AI. Once everything has been set, your agent should be able to patrol now around the nodes. Alright, we can create a final class named Enemy AI. The Enemy AI will be pretty much a combination of the two AI that we already wrote. So we can start off by copy and pasting the entire classes inside the Enemy AI. After having pasted both classes, we are going to move some lines of codes to other places. Make sure to pay attention to the if statements as well, as we are going to change a couple of settings in there. The general idea behind this class is that it will alternate between patrolling and stalking the player. Once the agent is close enough to the player, it will make use of the settings that are related to attacking, and it will eventually attack the player. In this tutorial, the attack will be simply a debug message, but you can feel free to add anything that you want to it. We are setting the attack cooldown at 1 second. This means that the enemy can attack every single second. You can increase or decrease this as you see fit. The final bits and pieces of this code can be very tedious, as you have to pay very close attention to whether it should be smaller than or greater than a certain amount. And this is in order to have the following behavior work properly with the patrolling behavior. Once done, you can duplicate one of the enemies and remove the class on it in order to add this newly created class to it. Make sure to set the settings just like the other classes. And after that, you can do a quick test run to see your enemy working. It should follow you once close by in order to attack you eventually. And once you are too far, it should return to patrolling behavior. And lastly, you can give every enemy its own color if you want to. I hope this tutorial was a little bit of help to you, and hopefully you've gained a new fascination for simple AI within games. Thank you for watching.